Join Pittsburgh's broadcasting stars at the AFTRA Golden Anniversary Awards, Saturday night at 8 on WQEX 16.
I joined AFTRA when I came here to KDKA in 1957, 58, around in there, when Ed King was very active, the late Ed King, very active in AFTRA, and he introduced me to the whole concept of why we could suddenly and finally say, hey, wait a minute, what about us?
Go back to the beginning of things.
The
Tell me how you got started in this crazy.
1954, this very date, April 4th, this very place. Yeah. Well, it was a different building. Yeah. WQED went on the air, and I went on the air with it.
How did that come about?
Well, I was doing a program called Children's Corner with Fred Rogers. Mm-hmm. And this was our very opening day of WQED.
Perry Marshall.
Oh,
Perry Marshall.
Where is Perry? Is Perry Marshall here?
Perry Marshall and I used to work together with Jack Bogert, remember?
Yeah. I recall some of those days.
No, we did. She used to come to work in pajamas.
Well, here's the story.
We're here because of AFTRA, but
I'm here because of him.
That's right, and you live here.
I live here. Right. I work here.
She lives in this building, yes.
In fact, standing in the studio with a camera, I kind of feel like I should be doing a pledge pitch.
Oh, no.
No.
Please.
There are two of us against you, Nancy.
Okay.
But you do them so nicely.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, I love Pittsburgh. It's been a great city. From the first day I walked in and at the job, they put me on the 6 o'clock with Ray, and the response was very, very favorable, and I've loved the city too. It's been just great for me, Jack.
I came across a leaflet today. 25 years ago, AFTRA had its first awards dinner. And I was named the Woman in Broadcasting. And would you believe that was the happiest, the most wonderful thing that happened to me in my career?
No fooling.
It really was. It meant more to me than anything else because it was voted on by all the AFTRA members.
On a wonderful night like tonight, all the members of AFTRA are feeling so right. Let's keep the mood kind of breezy and bright on a wonderful night like tonight. On a wonderful evening like this, all the members of AFTRA are strutting their stuff. When it comes to talent, there's more than enough on a wonderful night like tonight. On an evening like this, we're so proud of our members for keeping this union so strong. As we said once before, we believe in our members. We persevere for 50 years, we're set for 50 more. And we take this occasion to say that we members of AFTRA are giving our thanks for all of the people who fill out our ranks. And we thank all you people out there on this wonderful night, on this glorious night, on a wonderful, glorious night like tonight.
Welcome to AFTRA's Golden Anniversary Awards with your hosts, Lynn, Cullen, and Bill Cardille.
Good evening.
Good evening. Well, I see they've rounded up the usual suspects. And in fact, we are going to try to make this an arresting evening, are we not, Mr. Cardille?
Yes, we are, and I know we have a lot of newsmen in the audience, and you mentioned arresting evening. I do want to mention, in case you missed this, and you probably won't make the 11 o'clock news, that it's just been announced by Associated Press that John Gotti will be sent to the same prison as Mike Tyson, which isn't bad company because at dinner time they're going to have benediction by Jim Baker. The offering will be collected by Charles Keating. The food will be served by Leona Helmsley. And I hear that Doug Walgren's picking up all the checks. Very nice indeed. Oh, one other thing. If you looked at your programs, you noticed that Mayor Sophie Masloff had an opening announcement for you in your books, and also that she couldn't be here tonight. However, for her carpool, the 6 of you that came tonight in her carpool, she said, make sure you're outside at 11 o'clock, have the exact change for the limousine for your ride home. She'll be out front.
Yeah.
All right. Tonight, you're celebrating?
Tonight we are celebrating. Don't you step on my lines already. We're just getting teased. Tonight, we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Pittsburgh local of the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists.
What exactly does that mean, Lynn?
You asked me what exactly does that mean?
Yes, I did.
What is AFTRA? AFTRA, as I said, is the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, truly the most unique union of performing artists.
AFTRA is the disc jockey at your favorite top 40 radio station, and the guy or gal reporting the latest news from the Persian Gulf, or from the top of Mount Washington.
AFTRA is the singer or the dancer on the last TV variety show that you saw. Or AFTRA is the sultry actress on your favorite afternoon soap. And AFTRA is everybody you see on those Saturday night sitcoms.
AFTRA is the sportscaster at the Olympics and the one broadcasting the Penguin Games at the Civic Arena after the strike.
AFTRA is the kids in the commercial for Kennywood Park, and the traffic reporter in the helicopter happily over, not in, the Squirrel Hill tunnels.
AFTRA is the narrator on the safety films you watch at work. AFTRA is the people who live in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. AFTRA is 713 of your friends and neighbors in Pittsburgh.
And there are 70,000 more just like us all over the USA. That's AFTRA. And now to get to the pleasant business of this evening, namely to recognizing the talents of so many of our talented members. We first want to introduce our first pair of presenters, in fact. He is a jack of all trades, although his name is Larry Richard. You can see him on KDKA television, and you can hear him on KDKA radio. And she?
Joining him will be Lee Phillips. Lee is the morning disc jockey on Variety 96. And also, I was told today, a new mother, Lee Phillips and Larry Richard.
Very excited to be here tonight, especially among all, well, the best the talent has to offer in this town. That's why they had to get the roof with a high ceiling. Our first category. Well, you're loving that, David. You're beautiful people, never change. A lot of the work that's done by AFTRA performers is work that you never see because it is not aired on television or radio. You get to see it in the form of training films at work, closed-circuit TV advertising in department stores, other films and videos shown in classrooms and or museums. For instance, one of the best-known talented people in this, city and also this room has lent his face and his voice to off-air, non-broadcast events like museum. If you've ever been to Fort Ligonier, for example, They have these buttons that you push and an audio card plays to describe something historic. And I hit the button and it says, "This is Paul Long." This man's everywhere. "George Washington slept here. I know, I was here too." Where is Paul? I love this man. Pappy, you're the best. I'd like to also say how great it is to be in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. It's wonderful. Lee Phillips is going to read the nominees.
Okay, thank you, Larry. The nominees for Outstanding Non-Broadcast Production are Fashion Focus, Spring 91, Kaufman's producer. The Respironics BiPAP STD, Pantaray producer, Pantaray Media producer. And Zone of Danger, creative video producer. And here they are.
Our cover clearly focuses on all that's new for fall. Bold black and white and graphic houndstooth checks in proportions of long over short. From Donna Karan, New York, notoriously known as DKNY.
Once you've selected the right mask, there are several attachments which can improve patient comfort. Slip-on spacers can have a significant impact on patient comfort.
Did you see that? Too many kids think bikes are toys. Well, I've got news for you. We're not toys. Remember when Shannon asked Matt about a zone of danger? He doesn't have any idea what one is.
And the award for the Outstanding Non-Broadcast Presentation goes to Respironics from Pantaray Media. Accepting the award for Pantaray Media is the on-camera spokesperson, Susan Chapek.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Susan. Congratulations. And now we'd like to introduce a lovely performer we've been lucky to have in this town for a long time. AFTRA's premier song stylist, the lovely and talented Etta Cox.
Dearly beloved, how clearly I see somewhere in heaven you were fashioned for me. Angels' eyes knew you, angels' voices led me to you. Nothing can save me, fate gave me a sign. I know that I'll be yours come shower or shine. So I say so clearly, dearly beloved, be mine. Dearly beloved, how clearly I see somewhere in heaven you were fashioned for me. Angels' eyes, they all knew you. Angels' voices led me to you. Nothing can save me, they gave me a sign. I know that I'll be yours come shower or shine. So I say so clearly, dearly beloved, dearly beloved, dearly beloved, be mine, be mine, be mine.
Oh, I wanted more. Wait, that was it. Etta
Very
Cox.
nice, Etta.
All right.
We're going to do the best radio promo now, and I think you'll find this very interesting as well. First of all, one of the presenters will be Tanae Krum, and Tanae gives us the news locally on WAMO, WAMO, and nationally for the Sheridan Broadcasting Network.
And joining today is a colleague of mine. He's constantly reinventing himself. This guy, sort of like the Jerry Brown of local television. Last week he was reading the morning news on WTAE. This week he was reading the noon news on WTAE TV. Next week he'll be doing the 3 o'clock news. I think we're coming out with the 3 o'clock news on WTA. Whatever it's going to be, it is always newsworthy. The inimitable Mr. Adam Lynch.
Reinventing? Well, as a matter of fact, that's true. In fact, I've redone all of Paul Long's tapes that Larry was mentioning earlier, and I'm now getting the residuals instead of Pappy. But that's all right. We met for the first time tonight, and we've had an enjoyable and wonderful opportunity to compare notes. I've been in the business slightly longer than she.
A little bit longer, not much.
But we would like very much to participate and cooperate in talking about the people who we are here to introduce. We're both in news, of course, and I suppose that's why they have us talking about commercials, specifically commercials that radio stations use to promote their own programming or disc jockeys. And the finalists are...
For Outstanding Radio Station Promo, produced in-house, the O'Brien and Gary Cruz, Golden 96.
Who are they?
American Rock and Roll, WDVE.
Let's take a listen.
Yes.
Tuesday, May 7th. History does not know of any undertaking so broad in concept and so grandiose in its scale and masterful in its execution.
It's the O'Brien and Gary 16th anniversary cruise.
On and in the waters of Pittsburgh's Three Rivers.
Aboard the cruise ship Majestic.
See a live radio broadcast.
See Larry and John.
See Intrepid Scout.
See breakfast.
It's alive.
See refreshments.
See horsing around.
See mistakes.
See Gold 96 FM technicians actually standing up.
Send your postcard now with your name and address and phone number
to O'Brien and Gary Cruz, Post Office Box 960, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania 15230.
Listen for your name to be drawn mornings on the O'Brien and Gary Show on Gold 96 FM.
Lately, Japanese government officials have stated that American workers are lazy and inferior to those in Japan. Now, DVE doesn't want to stoop to the level of name-calling, but when it comes to music, try to come up with even one great rock and roll band from Japan. All this week at 6 with DVE's Herschel, we're featuring American rock and roll. So even if you're driving around in your import, listening to DVE on your Japanese car stereo, at least you can listen to rock and roll that has the Made in the USA label. All this week with Hirsch on DVE.
All right.
Oh, my.
And the winner is, for Outstanding Radio Promo, produced in-house, Golden 96. And accepting the award is Bumper Morgan.
I hope you know who you are Monday, what time you go on and all that, all right?
Oh my God, I've got to go to bed.
Well, now we have the honor of introducing our president, our current president from AFTRA, a man who really needs no introduction. What do you think, Lynn? Should we...
Okay, let's not give him one.
All right, here's Bill Steinbach. Bill?
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Lynn. Well, I've got one wired on me here, and I've got one in my hand, and one way or the other it ought to work. Good evening again, everybody. Welcome to Pittsburgh AFTRA's Golden Anniversary. We have some very, very special people with us tonight. And allow us to recognize you, if you would, please. From Cleveland, Ohio, the Executive Secretary of Cleveland AFTRA, Joan Calhorn. Joan? Our retired senior national AFTRA rep, the one and only, Harold Cosin. The Executive Secretary of Pittsburgh AFTRA, Mr. Dan Mallinger. And now, moving right along, and I assure my wife I did not forget this man, from National AFTRA. Joining us in Pittsburgh this evening as we mark our golden anniversary, a gentleman who runs a great meeting when the national board, and he's laughing because I told him what I was going to say, and I cleaned that up a little bit. Go ahead, use your. Nah, better not. I can't be Jack Palance. Okay. However, I don't participate in national contract negotiations, but I understand he's a hard bargainer, always looking out for the rights of all AFTRANs. So may I introduce the national president of AFTRA, Mr. Reed Farrell, and Reed, if you would, a few words.
This is really an awards season. 2 weeks ago, I went to the Writers Guild Awards in New York during a blizzard. Last Monday, I was at the Academy Awards in Los Angeles. And tonight, this is just a super gathering, and it's really just very, very touching to me. And I'm really honored to be here, particularly in your neighborhood. Boy, would my kid be jealous. Oh, he's 23, still watches.
And he's an attorney.
I would like to bring you greetings from a fellow who will probably sue you for the picture that you have of him in your program, Reach Cordick. It's not true that he's coming back to look for a job as a disc jockey. He's doing quite well in Los Angeles. I really want to congratulate all of you on behalf of all AFTRANs. This is a model local, and it is that because of the leadership. I mean, you have had this gentleman as your executive director for a lot of years. We honored him a few years ago by giving him a gold card in AFTRA. Gold cards are not given every year. Sometimes they're given every 2 years. Sometimes we don't give them at all. But we chose Dan Mallinger to give a gold card to because of all the dedication and the belief in what he has done and the way he has served not only you, but National AFTRA as well. And I know he's being honored later this evening, but I would really appreciate if you would join me in giving him a round of applause right now. He is, as we say, a hell of a man. Bill told me to be short, and so I'll try that at this point. And I will give the microphone back to him, who is also a real stalwart among the national leadership on our national board. You're very well represented. And again, I thank you all for allowing me to share this evening with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Reed. In the 50 years, the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists has been a force in the Pittsburgh information and entertainment community. Many of the thousands of members who have proudly carried an AFTRA card have made their special mark in the workplace and on their union. This evening, as we celebrate our golden anniversary, Pittsburgh AFTRA takes special note of 3 such members as we confer on them our Special Life Achievement Awards. Our first honoree is that balding gentleman, his co-workers affectionately refer to as Pappy, or the old man. Respected and revered, and always ready to debate the finer points of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in watching a brief summary of the radio and television career of Mr. Paul Long.
And I'm Paul Long. Action News is next.
kind of messed up. Yeah, it's better. Yeah, nice. It's the widest part in Allegheny County. Nice. It's beautiful.
Most of us don't realize Paul came to Pittsburgh in 1947. His suit arrived in 1943.
There is no room in this society for those who place their own personal concern above the welfare of the society.
Downtown bank robbery goes awry. This is Paul Long.
For more than 4 decades of dedication and service, the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists salutes Mr. Paul Long for his distinguished lifetime achievement.
You see, I'm a little confused right now because I thought Lynn Cullen was going to do this, and I have a lot of nasty things to say to her. And now you see, you screwed up my whole routine.
Why don't you pretend?
Let me just tell you.
Here.
Oh, dear God. I'm supposed to stand here and say what I got to say, right?
You're supposed to stand there and look that way.
Oh, my God. I'll never make it. I can only say to you that when you start talking about lifetime achievements, that means, God, am I getting old. I remember when Fred Rogers was only a pup. That's how old I am. I'm older than Ray Scott. And Arnold Wilner. Well, maybe pretty close. I'm not nearly as old as Marie Torrey. It's good to see you again, Marie. I remember you when you were just a child. And so was I. And Bob McCulley, all of these people out there that I have seen down through the years. David, are you still splitting your infinitives?
Yes, and I'm most unique.
Most unique. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did, and I don't approve, Mr. Long.
Good. Misspelling. Lynn is the teacher among us. She teaches us how to spell, and she teaches us that we should never say most unique. Lynn Cullen is on the cutting edge of the feminist revolution. She has managed to put a ban on smoking in the Channel 4 newsroom. And because I smoke cigars, I was the first to go. She was nice about it, though. She said that I could smoke Monday, Wednesday, and Friday as long as I don't inhale. We share a computer terminal in the newsroom. And I can have it any time I want except before 7 o'clock in the morning or after 8 o'clock at night. Show me the man who says he understands women, and I'll introduce him to Lynn Cullen.
And she's getting very annoyed at you right now, Mr. Long. Wrap it up.
I will just say thank you very much. The only thing that I feel when you talk about a Life Achievement Award is that, God, have I been around that long?
Yes, you have.
I have.
And we've loved every minute of it.
I'll bet you have.
Paul Long, ladies and gentlemen. Think a little, talk a little. Cheep, cheep, cheep. Talk a lot, talk a little more. Jeez. God. Sidney Poitier is going to be dead and buried before we get home this year. Paul, I would say how much I love you too, but people are going to start wondering, and Elaine, your wife, is sitting right next to you, for God's sake. I love you. God bless you. And me too.
Lynn?
Boy, yes? What? What?
Now you know he got his last name. Incidentally, before we move on, I couldn't help but notice Dan sitting down here, and we'll be talking about Dan later, but I overheard a couple of people earlier tonight saying, this must be the Congress because I'm going to be a presenter, I get a free ticket. I used to go to national meetings with Dan as a local president. I've been to every banquet, including tonight. And for those of you that don't know Dan, he runs a very tight ship. I'd just like to tell you that not only did you pay for your ticket, but everybody paid for their ticket, including Dan Mallinger.
All right.
He's an honest man.
Well,
okay.
He'll never be a member of Congress. Well, tonight, as with Paul's Lifetime Achievement Award, we are celebrating AFTRA's past, but we are also celebrating the future. And some of this next group of performers who are about to entertain you have been AFTRANs since they were toddlers.
I think you'll find it very interesting, too. And under the direction of Pittsburgh producer and AFTRA member Winnie Flynn, an outstanding talent, here come the young AFTRANs.
Bungee jump? Sure. Don't call us, we'll call you. I love that. Sure, I can be there in 20 minutes. Ah! Please, God, just one steady account. Film credits. Do x-rays count? Look at here now, give us a ring. We're triple threats, react, we dance, we sing. So whenever you need a remarkable kid, just get the talent gun, 'cause the AFTRA kid's inside.
Hi, my name's John Ponzio, and when I get older, I want to sound just like Dan Mallinger.
Hi, I'm Lisa Siegel, and I want to be Kathy Spiller. Hi, I'm Erin Caldwell. Hi, I'm Debbie Hammond. Hi, I'm Stephen Hanna. Hi, I'm Missy Schmutzer. Hi, I'm Danielle Strauss. Hi, I'm David Siegel. Hi, I'm Nicole Smith. Now that I have your attention...
Courtney.
I'm Courtney Mazza.
And we're the Young AFTRANs.
Now we're going to present a couple of awards, Best TV Promo and the Best TV Spot News. And our first presenter representing the male angle will be a friend that I go back a long way with. He worked at KDKA as Bawana Don. He worked at WQED for a while, went to Indianapolis, came to Channel 11 and stayed for about 20 years, he and the Duck, and he's had a great career. Don Riggs.
And joining Don is a woman who has made it impossible for every woman who's come after her. She is a hard act to follow. Gee whiz, I mean, I keep waiting for somebody to throw me in jail. I mean, I want to be thrown in jail. Marie Torrey needs no introduction in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, at KDKA for so many years, and you can still see her on WQEX, which is really a delight. Marie Torrey and Don Riggs.
Here they are.
I'm glad I didn't have to wear stripes to be recognized.
Yeah. You look younger.
Thank you, love. Don did ask me to announce that he wants to do for this wonderful AFTRA event what Jack Palance did for the Oscars. It's going to go one better. No hands push-ups. The floor is yours, Don.
Thank you. Want to see it again? I would like to present Willie the Duck. No, you're not. You're not the voice of Willie the Duck, are you? No. She left before that happened. She didn't have to go through that agony. Marie and I are so old, we remember Jerome R. Reeves.
The original Moonbeam.
The original
Moonbeam, yeah.
Enemy, yeah. But our great friend, and who told me in 1959, please come to Pittsburgh. I don't want to come to Pittsburgh, Ted, because if I have to join a union and they strike, I don't know how I'll make the money. He said, AFTRA in Pittsburgh has never struck. We went on the air January 11th, and February 22nd, we found out that video is the same as live, ain't it, Dan? And we struck and won. Good to have you here.
Thanks Excuse a lot. me for reminiscing. That's all right. Moving on.
Yeah.
The finalists for Outstanding Television Station Promo, produced in-house, are See Us Now, Stacy Smith, KDKA Television, Pittsburgh's Watching, WTAE TV, High Tech Hassles, WPXI TV, and may we please roll the tape.
The key to winning any game is consistency. Never let up, even in the off-season. But there's no off-season for the 11 o'clock news. You won't stay on top unless you work at it. And at KD, we're working harder than ever. And now Patty is my co-anchor at 11. Talk about driven. Together, you should see us now.
All right.
Listen up. Words coming down. Pittsburgh's watching WTAE. Making us laugh. Letting it out. People who are part of this town can tell you what it's all about. Sit back. You're gonna come undone. Like a gold turning it on now. And the best is yet to come. Ooh, for it keeps on giving. And Three Rivers keeps on living. Pittsburgh's the heart of America. Everyone's watching TV. Come on now, 'cause Pittsburgh's getting started. I'm not moving. Everyone's watching TV. Ford's got the best and everyone's a part of it. And Pittsburgh's watching WTAE.
Wednesday at 11 on Channel 11 News Night Beat.
Sounds simple enough.
I'm ready. Is your VCR a high-tech hassle? Watch Channel 11 News Night Beat for a crash course on your VCR. We'll tell you about repair scams in the area, programming your VCR, and we'll have details on how to use your VCR to win prizes from Blockbuster Video. Watch High-Tech Hassles on Channel 11 News Night Beat and get to know your VCR.
Accepting the award for WTAE is Joe Ravito.
Good. Congratulations, buddy. Now, this is a dandy, because this is for news. And the very name means the latest information. The ways of getting the information, my goodness, Marie, have changed just in our time. You're so old you remember Lou Phillips and motion picture film. So do I, so do we all. How many remember Bellop, Telop? How many remember, as By Williams did first in the world, giving the art department colored crayons and saying, here are the UPI fax pictures. We're all color on this TV station. Color them. And we did. It didn't look bad. It really didn't. But in the last few years, the developments have been absolutely astounding. To be able to do a fire on a satellite from maybe 10 miles away or 400 miles away is incredible. And the news team can get in the right place at the right time. All they have to do is want to and know about it in time. And this year's finalists got to the news and got the news to you by satellite, by mobile broadcast trucks, and even via a traffic helicopter. And the finalists in this category of very critical and important spot news are these: WPX ITV for the Brackenridge Fire. The next award is KDKA TV for Return from the Middle East. And the third award is WTAE for the Window Washer Rescue. Let's remember those.
Our Lori Penco is on the scene and joins us live now from Brackenridge. Lori, what are the investigators saying?
Well, Ron and Della, the fire that destroyed the West Interiors building is out. And now a massive search and rescue effort has begun for the 4 missing firefighters who went into this building this morning and haven't come out since.
Obviously, a lot of excitement there at Langley Air Force Base, but I think there's going to be a lot more excitement in Greensburg, where the Ratajays are waiting to see if their loved one is there, and Lynn Hayes-Freeland is standing by with them. It's got to be happy there, Lynn.
Stacy, it is without a doubt. We've been watching the television, and in fact, the Radajay family thinks they may have seen Michael getting off the plane. It was hard to tell. With all of the people, Mrs. Radajay, you've got to be feeling relief. Yeah. Would that be accurate?
The noontime sun was bouncing off the windows, and the men who had just washed them were in big trouble. Bill Ike was tied to a safety line, hugging the building for support. Charles Kane was still inside the scaffolding, which blew in the wind like some cruel amusement park ride. The washers say they were near the 6th floor and were lowering the scaffold. Charles' side stopped. Bill Ike's side would not.
How about those? Those, as Marie will tell you also, were just pieces of stories, all 3 of them, that kept on going. And they came back to them and so forth. So what you've seen here, just a piece of that. And for spot television news coverage, this award recognizes the blending of our mutual craftsmanship, our talent, writing, creativity, and production. Is presented to WPXI TV, and accepting is Al Blink, news director. Hi, buddy. Good. Congratulations. Very good. Now, how's your life?
My life is wonderful, but now, once again, our president. Bill Steinbach.
You do move things right along, don't you? Here's Steiny.
Okay, guys. Thank you. Pittsburghers have identified for 40 years with the next member of Pittsburgh AFTRA to be selected for a special honor as we mark our 50th anniversary. He started when public television started, right here at WQED in the mid-50s, and over the years, the Children's Corner became his very special neighborhood. Watch with me as we thumbnail sketch the career of Mr. Fred Rogers.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you. So let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? I just announced to my family, I don't think I'll be going to the seminary. I think I'll go into television. And they said, how can you say that? You've never even seen television. And I said, well, I've seen enough to know that I think I'd like to try to put my hand in it. Won't you please? Won't you please? Please won't you be my neighbor?
For his most significant contributions and lifetime achievement, the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists salutes America's favorite neighbor, Mr. Fred Rogers.
There are a lot of friendships in this room and so much talent. I'm grateful for this, and I'm grateful for all that you all have done and meant. Some friends took us, Joanne and me, this afternoon to see Straight Talk, which is the new movie of Dolly Parton. And she turns out to be a broadcaster in that movie. She didn't mean to be, but she walked into this place thinking she was going to be a receptionist, and she turned out to be somebody who gives advice on the air. It's sort of like me. I never expected to be on television, but there's so many people here who have worked with us that I'm so grateful for. And in that movie, Straight Talk, Dolly Parton just went on and on and on, and I'm afraid I would too, but I've written a minute and a half, so that will limit me. One of my friends said, you can just say thank you very much, but that just wouldn't be enough for right now. 38 years ago tonight, Josie Carey, a handful of others, and I were getting ready to launch the first full week of educational television broadcasting here in Pittsburgh. The Children's Corner and WQED TV's daily schedule would begin the next day. We all worked late. We all did many jobs. It's true that there were just a few of us in those days compared with the many who make broadcasting work today. Nevertheless, there was never a time when any one of us did it alone. No one of us could. Oh, some of us were pushed to the forefront because of circumstances. Some of us had our pictures taken and were quoted in the newspapers and accepted the awards. But it was very important for all of us to remember that we never did it alone. It's still important to remember. When a television program works well, it's very much like a healthy human body. All the parts work well together. The hands are no more important than the feet. The eyes are no more indispensable than the ears. The director needs the camera people, the lighting people, the floor managers. The producer needs the prop people, the scenic designers, the caterers, the gophers, and the talent needs everybody. There isn't a day that I've walked into this studio not knowing how dependent my work is on the work of everyone associated with the neighborhood. The best thing about an evening like this is to be able to mention that in public and to say how grateful I am to every one of you who in any way has allowed me, yes, encouraged me, and worked right alongside me to be able to bring what we felt to be the best we could offer through this medium to children and their families. 38 years sounds like a long time, but the blessing of good memories helps it all seem like yesterday. May you all have such good memories all of your life. Thank you very much.
I'm starting to get the feeling that I guess you get a Lifetime Achievement Award when you're the kind of person who makes other people feel all soft inside. Thank you, Mr. Rogers. You know, come to think of it, Mr. Rogers, this is going to be a little weird. You were off to the movie seeing Dolly Parton. I'm shocked. But I was at the movies, and I swear, and I admit, this movie I was sort of watching like this, so maybe I didn't quite see everything, but I swear that I saw somebody from your neighborhood, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, doing something like really skin-crawling, bone-chilling, and creepy in a movie called Silence of the Lambs.
You're right. Yes, you did. Yes. And it was Mr. Rogers' neighbor, Aber, playing the medical examiner. And guess what? He's with us tonight with another friend from the neighborhood who has also been a regular on KDKA's Let's Read a Story and Evening Magazine.
And here they are, Mayor Maggie and neighbor Aber Maggie Stewart and Chuck Aber.
Thank you very, very much. It must have been cold there in my shadow, to never have sunlight on your face. You've been content to let me shine. You always walked a step behind.
I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. A beautiful face without a name. I never once heard you complain.
Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I'd like to be. I can fly higher than the eagle, 'cause you are the wind beneath my wings. It might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I have it all here in my heart.
I want you to know I know the truth. Of course I do. I would be nothing without you.
Beautiful. You may have noticed that some of us are wearing red ribbons. The red ribbons are reminders that after 10 years, the fight against AIDS, in fact, continues. It is a public statement of our compassion for those living with AIDS and our active support for the people and the service organizations whose efforts assist people with AIDS facing the challenges of AIDS one day at a time.
I would like to mention that tonight's festivities are being taped, and when you leave, because we are at public broadcasting, if you'd like to make a pledge out into the lobby, number 1, and if you also would like to order a videotape from our 2 experts out there, they would be glad to take your name and your money. It's $19.95. Just see either Marion Barry or Rob Lowe.
And moving right along. Our next presenters?
All right, first one is Alan Bull. Alan, some of you may remember, was the weekend newsman here at Channel 11 years ago. He was the longtime ABC correspondent to South America, which must be why they called him Senor Skippy. And also, he was the first reporter into Cuba when Castro took over, and he's now with WTAE Radio.
You were the first reporter in Cuba after Castro took over? Yeah.
That's why he smokes those
Castro,
cigars.
That's why you get those stinky cigars after the Bay of Pigs. And joining Senor Skippy is that incessantly happy, incurably upbeat woman. She is also the co-chair of this evening celebration, but we all know her and love her as that shop and save lady, Kathy Sviller.
Thanks a lot, Bill. Anyway, we are going to present the awards in the category of radio spot news, the coverage on radio here in Pittsburgh of breaking news stories. And there's just one question I have. Do I get double coupons for appearing with you?
You didn't tell me you were going to say that. Anyway, I just wanted to thank everybody for coming. It's wonderful to see you all out there. And we want to tell you about the finalists in the category of radio spot news. The finalists are The President Visits Pittsburgh, KDKA.
Persian Gulf War, KQV.
Brackenridge Fire, WTAE.
Would you please roll the tape?
We have a series of reports, beginning first with KDKA's Barbara Boylan at the Convention Center. Barbara?
Bill, this was definitely the president's law and order speech. Provisions of his crime bill got enthusiastic response from police here. For example, the death penalty for anyone convicted of killing a law enforcement officer.
Papers have been coming into the studio. One report from one network says Baghdad's reporting some sort of attack underway. The next piece of paper says a radio pool reporter says F-15 fighter bombers have taken off from a base in central Saudi Arabia heading north.
As John mentioned, the fire burning in the West Interiors building. That's about a 3, possibly 4-story building, but looks closer to a 3-story building. Kind of tough to tell with the amount of smoke coming out. The smoke is powering about 600 feet in the air, so as you can tell, it's burning wildly out of control.
Okay. And the winner is WTAE Radio.
Accepting the award for WTAE Radio, my colleague and fellow toiler in the vineyards of Hearst Broadcasting, Bob Mayo, whose voice you heard. You know, Kathy, we've had a lot of creepy, horrific movies made here in Pittsburgh. They're still doing it. This Innocent Blood is the latest one.
That's right.
But the all-time creepiest has got to be Night of the Living Dead.
The first.
And the creepiest couple is with us tonight as our next presenters.
I mean, their daughter was a zombie, and they still let them make commercials. I don't know about that. All the time. People buy things from these people. May we present Night of the Living Dead stars, Carl Hardman and Marilyn Eastman, my heroes.
Thank you, I think.
Yeah, thanks for that, Kathy and Alan. We were asked to keep things moving when we came up, probably because it's about 1 a.m. already.
Somewhere.
So, getting right to it, the award we have is for the Outstanding Television Feature. Now, of course, and I'm going to read this. There's more to the news, I'll read it well, than the headlines. Get this now. Every news program provides special reports and human interest, feature stories, often with a local touch. This is all true, by the way.
And this
Marilyn?
year, the nominees for Outstanding Television Feature are Color Commentary, WTAE TV,
Jack of all trades, WPXI TV,
and KD Country, KDKA TV. Would you roll the tape, please?
We almost didn't stop at this house, so loud were the signs telling us not to. But those bright new American flags told us something too, that the person who hung them probably has something to say about the war.
Well, what I think they ought to bomb Dan Matley there a long time ago.
Irene Baker says use a nuclear bomb if you have to, but bring the soldiers home now.
Out of sight is out of mind. You know, that old phrase often rings too true when it comes to our car's battery. And thinking about our battery and learning how to maintain it is our project for today.
So you want the Pens to hang on to their team, but it ain't free, babe. Oh, no, 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 it ain't free, babe. It ain't free to win a cup, babe.
A once-in-a-lifetime offer for a limited time only, Bob Dylan's Blawnox Basement Tapes.
They're all great. However, one has to be chosen the winner, and in this case, the winner happens to be KDKA TV. For KD Country, Dylan. Accepting for KDKA, Dave Crowley. Dave? And I guess that's all for us.
Very, very nice indeed. Right now, Kathy Svillar and the people at WQEX have put together a kind of whirlwind memory tour of some of the TV programming we've enjoyed through the years here in Pittsburgh as we go back to the past.
I wanted to warn you about my wife.
Oh, is this your wife?
Yes.
I thought this was...
Some people think she's my mother, but it's really my wife.
Good morning. My name is Kathy. It's nice that we can be together. Let's read a story.
It's Saturday night. Time for Chiller Theater.
Who is it? The Boston Strangler. It's for you, Louise.
Tater Cousins!
Bob, do you think this is a ball club that could win the pennant this year?
I sure hope so, Ray.
Let's hear it all on KDKA, Pittsburgh.
Abducted by Aliens, Wednesday on Evening Magazine.
Kathy and the staff at QEX, thank you. It was a job well done. It gives me great pleasure to introduce a lady that really does need no introduction. A gateway to glamour, her early program, now appearing weekly right here in Pittsburgh on WQEX. One of Pittsburgh's best-known broadcasting personalities, one of our award presenters, Miss Eleanor Shano,
And joining Eleanor Shano, well, he was the former sports director for KDKA, the former sports director for WTAE. I remember him from my childhood. I'm sorry, Ray. In Green Bay, Wisconsin, is the voice of the Green Bay Packers, but he is best known nationally as the play-by-play man for CBS football. Ray Scott and Eleanor Shano.
Ray and Eleanor.
Ray, this is really exciting for me. This is the first time this minute that Ray Scott and I have shared a microphone in 31 years. It goes back to 4-Star News, and for those of you young people in the news business, they were the days when 4-Star News, do you remember, Ray? 15 minutes, that was news, sports, and weather, and the word came down one day that they were going to expand the news to a half an hour, and what did we all say? We'll never be able to fill a half an hour every night. Welcome home, Ray.
Thank you, Eleanor. Good evening. May I take just a few seconds in a very serious vein to say to Dan, to those here from National, Bill, and so many in this room who have kept the faith for so long. Thank you.
We are here to present the awards for the Outstanding Radio and Television Commercial. Now, here's what happens when a car dealer or a grocery store or a shopping mall decides that they want to do a commercial. They go to one of the over 100 advertising agencies in the city, and the advertising agency comes up with an idea. Then the advertising agency goes to our membership for the models and for the spokespersons. And so tonight we will present first the nominees for the Outstanding Radio Commercial. The nominees, Ray.
The nominees for Outstanding Radio Commercial produced for the local market are, number 1, Sheetz Hot Dogs. The title was Obsession. The Kaiser Group was the producer. Secondly, the Port Authority Transit. The title was Make It Easy. The producer, Tesson Stevenson. And thirdly, the First National Bank of Morgantown. The title Big Zero. The George Hill Company was a producer. Would you please roll the tape?
Creatively, meticulously prepared with the finest natural...
I love its aroma, the heady rush of spices from the Seychelles, Madagascar, Kiribati.
This is the moment, and you smile at her pleasure. For her, each taste is a memorable one, and you will remember, too.
The hot dogs at Sheetz. They are my obsession.
Obsession.
2 for only 99 cents.
99 cents.
And all the toppings are free.
Free.
Sharing an obsession.
The hot dogs at Sheetz.
Good people.
Good food.
Always convenient.
Sheetz.
Harry, why are we up here on Mount Washington? I thought we were going to see the pirate game.
We are, Marjorie, through this telescope.
But Harry, we have season tickets right behind home plate.
I know, but I refuse to fight with traffic and parking before and after the game anymore. So we are going to watch the game from right here.
Oh, no.
You don't have to go out of your way to avoid game traffic and parking. Make it easy on yourself with the Pat Pirate Shuttle.
Have you ever sat inside a Big Zero? The people at First National Bank of Morgantown asked me to explain what a Big Zero felt like. Well, it's huge, it feels great. You see, I just got a home equity loan from First National Bank of Morgantown, and the closing costs were nothing, zero. There are no pesky fees to bother you, just one big fat zero. Is anyone out there? Woo-hoo.
And the award for the best radio commercial produced for the Pittsburgh market goes to the Kaiser Group for Sheetz Hot Dogs and Obsession. Accepting for the Kaiser Group, Carol Yunt. Carol? And now the nominees for the Outstanding Television Commercial produced in the Pittsburgh market.
Number 1, West Penn Hospital. Blattner Bruner, the producer. Secondly, Pittsburgh Brewing, the producer, and I was told be careful how you pronounce this, they're important people. Della Femina McNamee. And thirdly, Century 3 Mall, the title Holidays 91, the producer, Lois Elder. Roll the tape, please.
When you have diabetes, one team in Pittsburgh has answers. The Jocelyn Diabetes Clinic at West Penn Hospital. That's my dietitian. Chris handles my exercise. Marlene's my nurse. Your doctor can refer you, or you can ask for one of Jocelyn's specialists.
He arrived, and Pittsburgh built a steel curtain. He returned, and the curtain rose again. Now, Iron City Beer honors Joe Green with this limited edition collector's can. Get yours soon and pay tribute to the player, the coach, the man behind the curtain.
Ring in the season at Century 3 Mall. The holidays resound in this spectacular setting. Shop Pittsburgh's favorite department stores and 200 specialty shops for the largest selection in the tri-state area. And remember Century 3 Mall gift certificates. They're good in all mall stores. Century 3 Mall is just 15 minutes from the Liberty Tunnel on Route 51 South. Shop in a festive setting right here at Century 3 Mall, where you're always welcome.
And the winner for the best television commercial produced in the Pittsburgh market, Della Femina McNamee for Pittsburgh Brewing. And Ray, we're going to ask you to accept the award for Della Femina if you promise not to take it out of town.
I promise, and I thank you all.
There's one person, and in our conversations and remarks throughout the course of the evening, somehow these mistakes occur, we forgot to mention. We talked about the birth of the Children's Corner, public broadcasting, public television, eventually Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I want you all to meet again and applaud Ms. Josie Carey. Josie. In the middle 50s, a few of us who were gainfully employed in Pittsburgh radio and Pittsburgh television would donate a couple or 3 or 4 hours of time each week, come out to WQED, the old mansion on the corner down the street, and eat in that commissary with that antique gas range and so forth, and sit in awe and watch the Children's Corner on Channel 13. I was there. And here we are together again. Thank you for a lot of entertainment, you guys. We're getting very close to the end of the program, folks. Some of us, Mallinger says, thank God. Some of us have trade unionism in our blood. The person who has guided Pittsburgh AFTRA for most of its 50 years is such a person. The son of a steelworker union organizer. Our honoree is a union executive whose thoughts, opinions, and advice are frequently sought out by the national leaders of our labor organization. Let's watch a pit parade of the career of our next honoree, Mr. Dan Mallinger. Roll the tape.
Speaking to you from the local headquarters, 1843 of the United Steelworkers of America in the Hazelwood District. And all these folks around here are mighty happy because they heard the word that the strike will not take place as scheduled about 12 o'clock tonight. Instead, they're all been told to go back to work effective immediately. We'd like to talk to some of these men who are preparing for a strike, and most of them work at J&L Steel Company.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we would film all day long. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday we would edit the film, and while I was editing with the editors, you would be working on scripts, and then on Sunday, we used to check out all the scripts and get all the props we needed for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and that went on for 5 months.
Now you may ask, why did we do that?
Money.
For his extraordinary commitment and service, the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists honors the man who served first as the local AFTRA president, then since 1960 as its executive secretary, named Eastern Regional Director of National AFTRA in 1987, and the 1985 winner of the George Heller Memorial Gold Card Award. Pittsburgh AFTRA proudly pays tribute to the lifetime achievements of Mr. Dan Mallinger.
I think I can be heard even sitting down. I've made enough noise in this town. You'll have to excuse, I got a bad wheel. There was a time this morning when I told my wife, Marlene, I'm not going. I'm not up to it. I don't feel well.
And what the hell, I'll watch the tape next week. And she just laughed, because she knew I'd go. She knew I'd go because when AFTRA called, I always went. It's been a way of life. No, she's been a mistress. I'm not sure which one's the mistress either. AFTRA or you, honey. I guess one of the greatest nights that I've ever experienced, career-wise, was a hot summer night in Miami, Florida, when I found I was the only one sitting at the table and I was going to get the gold card. 2 of my children were in town with us, but they decided they were going to the movies. My wife said, geez, I've seen this before, I'm going up to bed. Bill flew back to Pittsburgh because his mother was ill, and the immediate past president of AFTRA at that time, Bill Hillman from San Francisco, a very dear friend, came walking by and said, where is everybody? And I said, well, they went here, there, and everywhere. And with that, he disappeared, and they proceeded with the meeting. And all of a sudden, my wife shows up. The kids didn't. They didn't know which movie house to find them in. And I got the gold card. I guess, Reed, you would perhaps know better than anyone else in the room beside myself what that gold card means to the individual who receives it. It is recognition of everything that we believe in and stand for. And in my case, it was everything that I had learned as a young kid from my dad and from people that he associated himself with, people that I used to call Uncle Phil, referring to Phil Murray, head of the Steelworkers Union and the CIO, guys who I used to literally just worship at the knee of John L. Lewis, who scared the hell out of me in one frame when he opened his mouth and the room shook, and then the next word he might say. These were the kind of people I grew up with. And I always wanted to be a broadcaster. I always wanted to be in news. God knows how I got into what I'm doing. I became a broadcaster. I did news for a while, but I was a producer. I was an advertising agency. I did everything in this business, I guess, that you can do. Worked at I don't know how many different radio and TV stations. But the one job that I found that I liked and loved was being the exec. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ann Muffley. Ann?
The AFTRA Scholarship Fund has always been very special to me since I became a member of its board about 10 years ago. But for Dan, raising money for the Scholarship Fund has been an unending crusade. Ever since it was called the Donald Hirsch Fund back in the 1950s, our local has given many scholarships to deserving members and their children for higher education. These past few weeks, without Dan's knowledge, and this was pretty sneaky, present members of the Pittsburgh local were called and asked to contribute a special 50th anniversary gift to the Scholarship Fund. The response was overwhelming. This special anniversary gift will be known as the Dan Mallinger Fund of the AFTRA Scholarship Memorial Fund. It's our way of thanking you, Dan, for perpetuating the Scholarship Fund in the past, the present, and now the future. I present you this check for $1,150.
I would like to also say that I've been on television every week for the last 40 years, and 35 of those years I started at Channel 11, and I've known Dan Mallinger from day one when we came in here and had our contract with Don and Dan, and that was in 1957. I'm still with the same station and with AFTRA, and so is Dan. And the first 50 years, it was fun. 35 years, good groundwork. Now we have another 50 years in front of us, and we leave it to the young AFTRANs and a lot of the young ladies and gentlemen in the crowd tonight. But I would like to say that you're all invited to our 100th anniversary 50 years from tonight. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Good night.
Good night.
On a wonderful night like tonight, all the members of AFTRA are feeling so right. Let's keep the mood kind of breezy and bright on a wonderful night like tonight. On a wonderful evening like this, all the members of AFTRA are striding their stuff. When it comes to talent, there's more than enough on a wonderful night like tonight. On an evening like this, we're so proud of our members for keeping this union so strong. As we said once before, we believe in our members. We persevere for 50 years, we're set for 50 more. And we take this occasion to say that we members of AFTRA are giving our thanks for all of the people who fill out our ranks. And we thank all you people out there on this wonderful night, on this glorious night, on a wonderful, glorious